Want to check in with our good friend Debbie Binder. Always great to have you with us here on the show. Debbie, how are you doing?
Good. Always good to be here with you two also. You guys, it's just a wonderful program and a great, community asset that you provide. So thank you for including me as part of your program.
Well, we're only as good as the people we have on the show, and that's people such as yourself. And we're always honored to be able to speak to people such as yourself at length to try to clarify the entire process. I will tell you, I have been a reporter in the Detroit market well over 10 years. I have learned more about our election process doing this show over the past year than I have in my 10 years as a reporter. And Debbie, that's because of you.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Ronnie. One day we'll have to get you working an election and you'll learn that much more.
You know what? I almost signed up last year for the city of Detroit as well because I knew it was going to be busy. In fact, I've been bugging my sister, my twin sister, to take part as well. So maybe next year, Debbie.
So be great.
So hopefully you guys are getting a little bit of rest. It's been a crazy couple years.
It has been. Every year since I started, we've had 3 or 4 elections every year. This year, we had a May election. Right now, we know for sure we don't have an August one. And we don't know for November or next May yet because they have 90 days ahead of time to file for ballot language. So we don't have one for August, but still waiting to hear November, May, and next August and November, we will have a gubernatorial primary and general. So next year we'll be back to another busy, busy year.
So in the meantime, what is the day-to-day like for you and your staff right now? Is it catch up?
It's a lot of catch up because there are a lot of things that weren't a necessity but were important that didn't get done last year while we were in such heavy election mode. So we are catching up. We have also brought back our passports that we were providing. We are a passport acceptance agency. That means we're not the actual Department of State, but we flow through to the Department of State. That actually, with the people starting to have that resurgence in travel, we're seeing a big increase in the number of people coming in for passports. So we have started doing them by appointment, and we are booking into July for passports. So we are seeing a resurgence in people seeking passports now too. I would urge anybody, like with everything post-COVID, it's going to take some patience. We're the time frames, that you have to allow what we used to be quoting and what we're quoting now, and that's just not what we're quoting. That's what the Department of State is quoting. They're extended times, even for expedited. So I would encourage anybody who needs a passport to plan ahead, call the clerk's office, set up a time, and make sure you allow time to get that passport. It's not a 2-week process anymore. Your expedited one is taking 4 to 6 weeks, and your regular
What?
passport's taking 10 to 12.
Holy
Yeah.
cow.
Wow.
So, you know what? That is such a good reminder, though, if you have a passport and you haven't checked it in a while, because for a lot of us that have passports and you don't fly a lot or you don't go international a lot, you don't keep up on when it expires. And also, I will say for me, like a few years, well, it's been 10 now, when we got married, I had to do the expedited because my name legally changed and it has to match. It's not the old school way where it was like, oh, okay, this was my driver's license. It has to match exactly. So you need to, keep that in mind as well for all the brides out there that are getting married and changing their name legally.
It's very precision based. So, one of the things I would tell you as a passport acceptance agency, we actually can't process an adult renewal. We have but what we do is we help a person get that all ready so that they take it to the post office, and we've double checked it with the knowledge and training that we have on passports to ensure that everything's correct. An example is if you don't use the right color ink, they may send it back. So it's worth that trip to come up here and have us look at it. We have all of the forms, but we can do a children's renewal or we can do a new adult passport right here is a pass through. But if you do need a renewal, it's still worth coming up here. Just let us look at it, make sure you have everything correct so that you don't get it sent back and extend the time it takes to get your passport.
And also the frustration and the headache. So that
And also the frustration, yes.
so you can actually catch that flight. Debbie Binder with us here on the MegaCast. She's the West Bloomfield Township Clerk. And with that, Debbie, what else is going on over there at the clerk's office that you want the public to know?
Well, one thing I wanted to say, and this is not my department, this is Treasurer's Department, but it is important because today is the last day to get your dog license without having a delinquent request. So today you can get your dog license for $10.50 if your dog is spayed or neutered, or $18 if not. but starting tomorrow, it will be $33. So if you need more information, I would call the treasurer's office at 248-451-4860. But today, if you get up here today, you don't have to pay the delinquent fees. And that is all handled through the county. So we can actually do dog licenses for anybody in Oakland County. It's not just West Bloomfield residents.
Oh, that's good to know. And your office is open to the public, right?
Our office is open to the public 8 to 4:30. The only thing that requires an appointment are passports. Everything else is walk-up service 8 to 4:30 daily.
That's important information for the people in Kego. I don't know about Sylvan, but I think Kego, so much of their business, if you go into City Hall, is by appointment. And for people, such as myself, I always forget to make appointments. I don't know what I'm doing in the next hour, let alone the next 24 hours. So with that, Debbie, anything else you want to touch on? We have about 2.5 minutes left here in the show with you.
Just, the main thing, I'm always going to throw out that recruit for election workers, because as much as we're quiet this year, we will always need more next year. Thanks to you guys, we do get a lot of interest and we get a lot of people that come in. So I just always want to throw that out. And just again, a thank you for everything you do for the community. And if anyone needs anything, the clerk's office is here 8 to 4:30. You can contact us by phone at 248-451-4848. And we are often the gateway to reaching something at the township. If we don't have the answer, we're going to send you to the right place.
You have been a wealth of information, and I don't want to jump into politics around some of the talk in the arena about the election changes, but just for people that are kind of sitting on the fence of both sides of these, the best way to educate yourself on the entire process is to volunteer.
It is the best way to find out it just reassures everybody who gets involved. It's easy to think you know what's going on from everything you hear, but the only way to really know what's going on is to get involved. Every clerk in the state of Michigan is adhering to state and federal election law. Everything we do is driven by law. So the best way to know how it's done is to get involved, see it firsthand.
Yeah, because it's so easy to sit on the sidelines and think you know what it's like, but until you actually are there. And I really think everyone should do it at least once in their life as well, especially when we're looking, to try to change some of these laws. Become informed, volunteer before you make that decision.
You know what, Ronnie? It's a really rewarding experience. I always tell people when I'm recruiting them, everyone complains and everyone comes back, because they're not coming back. It does pay. It's a paid position, but per hour it doesn't pay very well. But it really does, it gives people a sense of reward and being involved in the community and doing something that they feel is a meaningful activity. So it provides twofold. It provides reassurance on how the process is, and it also provides a tremendous amount of reward to people who get involved and find out how much you're doing to help your community. We couldn't run the size of the elections we have. We have 66,000 residents and we have 54,000 registered voters. We couldn't run an election that size without a sizable group of people willing to work those elections. So we are grateful for each and every one of them, as well as our polling locations, because we couldn't run the elections without them as well.
Well, and so many people here locally are grateful to you and your team as well. We know it hasn't been an easy year over the past year with COVID on top of the political rhetoric as well. So we want to say thank you again, Debbie Binder, for being with us. It's always great talking with you.
Thank you so much for having me. You guys have a great week.